I skyrocketed my productivity and happiness in a matter of days, and it was all due to implementing this simple morning routine that I'll teach you today. In today's video, I'll tell you exactly how to start your morning so that you're more productive throughout the entire day. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you the secret to making hard work feel easy. When I was about 15, 16, my morning routine used to consist of lying in bed after waking up for an hour and then finally rolling out of bed after watching YouTube. I would half-ass brush my teeth, not even do it properly. Then I'd be rushing to wherever I had to go, to college, school, work, and I would just think while I was rushing and while I was on my way, or while I got there late, and I'd just been berated for being late. Why didn't I just get out of bed when I got up? Why couldn't I just get up earlier? And if you relate to that story at all, then this video is going to be super useful and might even help fix that, hopefully. So, step one is planning the routine. You need to set a time to go to sleep and a time to wake up, and you need to follow that consistently. And this is the biggest problem, is inconsistency in a routine. Because it'll take 3 or 4 days of following this routine consistently. Let's say you set your bedtime to 8 o'clock. Whoa, sorry, that's mad early. You're probably going to bed like 2 a.m. Let's be reasonable. 11 o'clock at night is your bedtime. If you follow that every single day for 4 or 5 days, then on like the 4th day, you'll start to feel tired at like 10:30, 10 o'clock. And your body will naturally want to follow this rhythm that you've put it in. So, like with anything in life, consistency is key. You cannot flake out and, not do it on the 3rd day or the 4th day, just because, I slipped up. It's like, for the first couple of weeks, you have to go hard on this. You have to be relentless in sleeping. It sounds so stupid, but when you're tired, but you just don't want to go to sleep, and your body is literally shutting down, your eyes are getting dry. That's your body telling you, yo, we need to go to sleep now. And yet you resist and you stay up. Because I used to do it all the time. And the second step is determining the amount of sleep that you need. So for some people, it's normally between 6 to 8 hours. For some people, it's 7. Some people, it's 6.5. What you need to do is you just need to experiment and find out what time works for you. Like, say you've set your bedtime at 11 o'clock, then you need to figure out, do you need to wake up at 7, 6, or 5 for that to work for you? Set your bedtime at 10, what time do you need to wake up, Because there's basically like these rhythms, these cycles, sorry. A sleep cycle takes an hour and a half to complete. An hour and 30 minutes. So ideally, we would get 6 hours of sleep, or 7.5. And I found that for me, 7.5 works quite well. That's normally the time that I need. And I've got my alarm set, because normally I wake up a little bit before my alarm. But that also comes with the third step, which is rising with the sun. And this is to aim to wake up alongside the sunrise. Like, say the sunrise was 5:30, you'd aim to wake up about 20 past 5, so that you could wake up with the sun. And it's just how your body is naturally programmed, is to when your body sees light, it naturally starts to begin the process of waking. So it warms up your body. You start to get a lot warmer, and your eyes start to not lube up, but get more moist to begin the day. And this is probably normally between 5 and 7 a.m. depending on the season. And that's the annoying part, is you can't just set one time and follow it throughout the year if you want to wake up with the sun. But as soon as you wake up, you want to view sunlight for 5 to 15 minutes. And the best protocol for this is, what I do is I sit outside with a glass of water, and I just look at not the sun. You don't stare at the sun, obviously. Never stare at the sun. But you just want to look outside. You just want to be outside, basically, for the first 5 to 10 for 15 minutes, depending on how covered the sky is. So if it's a nice clear day, nice clear morning, 5 minutes will do. And this is because when you view sunlight, your body basically is signal to your brain that it's the start of the day. And so your body kind of like shifts. So if you don't wake up until 10 o'clock and then you don't see sunlight, you don't open your curtains until 12 o'clock, then that shifts your body's clock forward so that you'll be going to sleep at like 2 a.m. because that's when your body thinks that it's had a full cycle of the day. Instead of being, wake up at 5, you see sunlight at like 5:30, then you'll be going to bed at like 8 because that's a full cycle that your body's just done. And obviously drinking water is just, to stay hydrated. Sorry, I've been so ill the last week and a half. That's why there's been no videos. But yeah, just sitting outside and drinking water is the most efficient thing to do as soon as you wake up. Then, next thing you want to do after waking up is going and having a cold shower. You normally want to do this for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how cold your shower goes. Most people don't do this, but I actually wash when I have this shower. Most people don't wash in their cold shower because they feel like they're in there for too long. And, it's like, it gets to the point where it's like a bit dangerous. But my shower doesn't go like too cold. So for me to get the same benefits, I have to stay in there for a bit longer. So I normally just like fully shower, wash my hair, or lack of it. Do that. And the reason we want to do that is because, new addition to the channel, got a whiteboard. Now you can draw your little diagram. Basically, give me 1 second to write this up. So this is your body's natural temperature clock. Because it's not only when you go to sleep that determines when you feel tired next, it's also this. So when you wake up, your body starts to warm up very slowly, very slowly. This is probably about 7 a.m. About here. Your body is at its coldest, and then it'll start to warm up until about 2 p.m. That's normally when your body hits its like peak temperature. But by having a cold shower in the morning, it's like an opposite effect. If you go into a cold temperature, your body warms up. If you go into a warm temperature, your body cools down. So by spiking our temperature like low, making our temperature go really low, we can get this peak a lot earlier in the day. So if we can get that peak a lot earlier in the day, and our body, basically, that's why a cold shower wakes you up, because at this point, you're probably having your cold shower here, your body's like, the shock of the cold is like incredible for your body's temperature system. So when you get to this point, that's like probably about 9 a.m., whereas this is about 2 p.m. But what you'll also notice is it goes down a lot earlier. So it basically means that you've gone up earlier and you'll be going to sleep earlier. So your entire clock, instead of being like shifted like that, it'll be shifted like that. That probably don't make much sense. But basically, instead of having a delayed cycle, so waking up at 8, 9 a.m. and going to sleep at like 2 a.m., you'll be waking up at 5, 6 and going to sleep at like 10. So it basically just shifts your entire body system forward by a couple of hours, which is so powerful because of the next step. And the next step is, before you go to bed, you want to have some cold, because that is cold exposure. The next step is warm exposure, heat exposure. Now, I know that people will be saying, oh yeah, heat to the balls kills testosterone, it kills sperm, but not getting enough sleep also kills testosterone and sperm. So, you weigh up the pros and cons. So, basically, when you do the heat exposure, your body does the exact same thing, but at night. So, having a warm bath is what I normally do for about nothing ridiculous, 15 to 30 minutes. Having a warm bath, an hour probably before bed is best. That's what I found. I normally have mine about 8:30, 9 o'clock to get ready in bed for 10. So once I do that, you want to turn off all the lights as well, because viewing light obviously wakes you up. So from about 8 o'clock, you don't want to have any lights on. I normally just chuck 2 candles on. Yeah, call me a bitch, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm not getting better sleep than you. I normally just chuck 2 candles on so that it produces the least amount of blue light as possible. And then I just hop in the bath for half an hour. And then that basically gets my body to cool down because it's such a warm exterior environment. Your interior environment becomes a lot cooler. And obviously your body becomes very cold throughout the night because it's not doing as many like processes. It's not trying to pump loads and loads of blood around the body to fuel your muscles. So having cold shower and a late heat exposure, like a late bath, is the best for setting your temperature clock. I don't know the actual scientific term, bro science temperature clock. And the way that you can make hard work a lot easier is by doing something called Eat the Frog, which is basically where you perform the hardest task that you're going to do in the entire day first. Now, there's numerous reasons for this. If you do, let's say, your cold exposure, let's say you wake up at 5:30, you do your cold exposure half an hour after sitting outside, so 6 o'clock. If you start your work at 6:30, then your body's already had an hour to wake up. You've done 2 protocols to wake you up a lot quicker. So your mind is going to be so focused an hour after waking instead of 5, 6 hours after waking, after you've already consumed about 700 carbs. You know, you're trying to digest things, and this is why doing mental work while fasted is so optimal because your body spends like 40% of its brain power trying to digest the food. Like I'm recording this, all I've had today is 2 throat sweets because my throat is fucked. Like, like, you know, doing work fasted and an hour after waking is so effective, and you're gonna have a higher level of dopamine throughout the entire day because of the fact that you've achieved something. So everything else that you do during the day is gonna feel a lot easier. Like, let's say the hardest thing you're gonna do today is go to the gym. Probably true. Let's say you go to the gym as soon as it opens, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever. Whenever you've set your time frame to move and to be awake. Let's say after that, you need to do a bit of studying. You need to study for half an hour. But you've already been to the gym. You already feel amazing. You've looked at your physique after going to the gym. You looked in the changing rooms. You hit a little double bicep. You feel great. You come home, you bash out the study, and it feels like nothing because you've already woke up at 5. You had your cold exposure. You've seen the sunlight. You've gone to the gym. Your trajectory for the day is going to be insane. Like, let's say that this is the day when you do all of your fun, all of the stuff. Your trajectory is probably going to be just waking up, probably going to be like this all the way throughout the day until you go to sleep, where it's going to go down like that. Whereas, let's say you woke up at 9 a.m. You're rolling out of bed, you got work at 10, you got about 20 minutes to get ready. Your productivity is like diminishing throughout the entire day because you haven't done anything to keep your motivation like afloat. You haven't done anything to keep it flowing because motivation is like a wave. It comes in waves, it comes, it goes. And if you can continuously one up yourself and keep doing better in your day, then your motivation is going to keep rising. And also, seeing bright lights before bed, like probably 2 hours before you go to sleep. So if you see bright lights anywhere after like 10 p.m., it actually decreases your dopamine levels for the following day. I'm not sure why, but you're literally less happy and you're going to have less motivation and less drive the next day if you stay up late and look at screens. Like, I know you are. Come on, bro. And you're more likely to be productive if you do the hard task first, just simply because it's hard, you know? Like, when you do something hard, you want to do more hard things because the dopamine that you get, the positive feedback loop that you get yourself into, because it was fun to actually do the hard thing. And the best strategy to having a productive day is, of course, what we've been talking about today, is getting better sleep. And I'm actually currently in the midst of making a video just purely on better sleep. Like, not about the routine and all that and when to do certain things, just purely details of how you can get better sleep. And in the midst of making that video right now. Once that video is up, I will pop that in the end screen. Go and click subscribe right now. Have a good day and a great week. Mwah!